tell you a story in terms of, I'm assuming Chief Learning Officer is all about growth and talent management and learning within an organization. And for companies as small as ours, it needs to become a part of your DNA. And a title or a department or people that kind of just focus on, learning needs of the company. But we try and make that a part of a DNA where we give enough leverage and leeway to people to kind of grow and learn. So I'm going to try and give you some examples, but before I do that, I'm going to take you through my journey. So in 1999, I started this company called Big Tree Entertainment. And the idea came about because I was holidaying in South Africa after working for 2 years in a company after my MBA, and I was backpacking. And I was under a big tree at Storms River Valley. And I heard a radio commercial trying to sell rugby tickets. And I said, this is great, India, we've got to do this. So I quit my job, came back, and I started my company. And that in itself was a learning for me. So I thought it was like Buddha getting his enlightenment. But little did I know that in India, trying to start a business is being the unenlightened. So, government permissions, the Entertainment Law of 1956, which is incidentally still called the Entertainment and Telegraphic Act of India. And you know that telegrams were just kind of killed a couple of weeks ago. That act still stays, and we are governed by that. So, I came back, I started this company, got invested by Chase Capital Partners, and started scaling up. So, to give you an analogy, we are the Ticketmaster / Fandango of India. And today, of course, we can look back and say that we've done well in 14, 15 years, and I get invited to talks like these by Kumar and people, because we're doing about $200 million worth of tickets every year in India alone. We're in 4 geographies, we're in 130 cities in India. But it was tough times. So when we scaled in 1999, one of the learning for me was that the ecosystem didn't exist, and we were trying to be a part of an ecosystem that wasn't there in India. And so most of our tickets came through call centers, home delivery. We had a cash loss on weekdays, we had an actual loss on the weekends. It was tough. And then we had the downturn in 2002 where the dot-com bust happened, by which time I was invested by News Corp. And I was given 6 months to wind down the company. So from 150 people, I went down to 6, including an office boy, and the only reason I retained him is because he was my first employee. So the reason I'm telling you this is, from not knowing what to do, scaling up a business, learning what I did on the job, I had to scale down from 150 people down to 6. That's how harsh it was. And we moved from a 2,500 square foot office to a 136 square foot rented apartment. And the only thing that I said I want to do is, I believed in the business, I took a loan, and I bought back the company from the investors. As we scaled up, here is what we learned. The first thing I learned is that I used to give this software free to a lot of venues. And the first thing I learned in life is anything given free is not valued. The other thing that I learned is that when you retain people and you develop and hone talent and you do things which has their best interest in mind as well, they will act as ambassadors for you. And today, a large number of people working in the entertainment industry in India actually work, who used to work for us, and they actually bring back business to us. The third is that I learned a lot of things on the job, along the way. And I made a lot of mistakes. Of course, I learned some stuff, I unlearned some stuff, learned on the back of some of the people that I knew. And one of the things I said is that, what is it that we can do to give equal opportunities to young guys that we hire, people that are at the top. So our youngest person working in our company is 16, I don't even know if it is legal, but somebody who's doing an apprenticeship with us, working at one of our just doing a summertime sort of placement. And the oldest guy in our company, who's our vice president of operations, I think is a 56-year-old guy. So we put him on a very high medical plan. So that's the broad spectrum of people that we have. So how do we, as a company, and I'm 38, what can I tell the guy who's 16? Because I'm certainly not in touch with his needs and wants and his growth and learning is, and certainly not in touch with the guy who's 56 because he knows more than I do. And a part of the reason why I grow this beard is because 3 of the meetings that I went to, they weren't taking me seriously and they were asking him the questions. So I wanted to look a little older. And so one of the things that we've done is, and I'm sure all of you deal with problems like these every day and you are masters at it, and so I shouldn't be the one standing here. But just to give you a perspective of companies like ours, where we have around 360 people across 7 offices in India, and we're across 4 geographies, which is India, New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. And for us, one of the things that we've done is that anybody who walks up to our HR department and says that they want to do a course or a program, Bigtree Bookmyshow has a loan, which is an interest-free loan that the company gives that person. 6 of our current employees are currently doing their MBA program as we speak. 4 of the people have finished their MBA program while they were working for us. We have a library in the office, which is a virtual library, and we have physical books. We dedicate 20% of a person's time in some of the departments, not in all. In sales, obviously, if we see the person more than 20% of his time spending time in office, then there's a problem. But apart from that, the person who is in technology, in development, they get 20% of the time to moonlight and do any project that they like, which is unrelated to the business or unrelated to the daily needs of our company. Any requirements in terms of training and development that any individual has in the company, he can step up and order books, buy books, sign up for a program. There's a 0.8 probability that his request will be accepted. And what I mean by that, and what I'm trying to allude to, is that we've gotten into the DNA of the company, and we don't have a chief learning officer. We don't have people which specifically look at certain requirements of training and development. Of course, our call center that we run, there is a training and development team, and etc., because you need soft skills training. But across the board, there is no stopping at what a person would like to do and would want to do in our company. We've been able to scale up from selling 1,000 tickets a month to Bookmyshow sells currently about 5 million tickets a month. That's been the scale. The scale has come in 6 years. Managing growth has been a real challenge for us. And one of the things I said, and we do is this yearly Goa conference, is that growth will come in India. There's no question in my mind. And all of us can feel it. That's why we're in conferences and talks like these. But I think it's going to come at a cost. And that cost will be the quality of the talent, the quality of that talent to step up and do the job that he or she is required to do. The skill sets that you need would change very rapidly because of this rapid growth. And how do you kind of set that as a systemic sort of need within the organization that you should never feel that I need to get talent from outside. I'll give you a few other examples. And this is something personal. My maid's daughter, my maid who is Marathi speaking, comes part-time, her daughter was going to be another maid. She was put through school and college in an English medium college which we paid for. We as in the company paid for. And if you ever call Bookmyshow for a ticket, and if you have a problem with your ticket or a refund, in all probabilities Akshata would answer the call because she now is one of our call center employees and team leaders. She comes from a Marathi medium home, she comes from a slum. but if you saw on the road today, you would not recognize her. She's been with the company for 6 years. Some of our managers that manage some of the largest IPL Formula 1 projects came to us as call center or team leaders, and over a period of time, we've set a path for them for growth, learning, and development. And this was not done by some sort of design or some sort of sending them for external training. It was just about setting the benchmark high for them, putting them on the job, allowing them to make mistakes, rewarding them in more ways than just monetary benefits when they did well, and ensuring that at any given point of time their confidence doesn't suffer. Of course, there are all your learning and development needs in terms of running a business which are needed and required for a company which is a consumer-facing company. You can't do stupid stuff when it comes to millions and millions of customers. We have 20 million visits every month that come to Bookmyshow. It's a large quantum of touch points that we have. But having said that, we've seen that we've been able to develop talent and grow them internally very rapidly, and it's done well for us. And the reason I say that is because when I started this company, I was 24, and if I can learn on the job, and if I can help scale up an organization which we're all envious of, why can't the kid that comes and joins us at whatever level? And that goes for the illegal 16-year-old who is working for us, or the 56-year-old guy. And that's what we're all about. So it's a very unstructured talk that I had today. I don't want to drag this. Maybe you have a lot of questions. You've been probably dealing with large Fortune 500 companies which have positions like these and are far more structured than us. I just wanted to tell you our little story on how we've gone through a couple of boom-bust cycles, how we've grown from a one-man team to a 360-member strong organization which is very consumer-focused and driven, how we've been able to expand geographies and not just learn on the job for what we need to do with India and the Indian diaspora in terms of consumers, but how consumers react to our products and services even outside the country. So this is who we are. If you have any questions for me, I'm more than happy to spend more time on that, because I think the conference is all about learning, and I think we should focus a little more on that than just me talking.